James Comey showing up on CNN 2 years after getting fired by the president. He had a lot to say about President Trump, the Mueller report, alleged spying, and more. Watch.
The president is not above the law, and I don't accept the notion that because the president is the head of the executive branch, he can't ever obstruct justice.
Do you think he had criminal intent based on what you have seen now in the Mueller report?
It sure looks like he did.
Do you think the Russians have leverage over President Trump?
I don't know the answer to that.
Think it's possible?
Yes. The FBI doesn't spy to begin with. The FBI investigates.
Why do you think Attorney General Barr used the word spying, which is obviously a word that the president has used as well?
I can't explain it. I mean, the only explanation I can think of is he used it because the president uses it, which is really disappointing.
President Trump unloading on Comey, calling him a disgrace to the FBI and its worst director in history. All right, so Jesse, I'm going to start with you. Comey also said that AG Barr lost most of his reputation because of how he conducted himself. Is that the pot calling the kettle black?
Yeah, Comey is not a hero. He is a small, well, very tall, but pathetic man that really screwed things up. If you think about, he investigated both presidential candidates, botched both investigations. He got fired. His deputy got fired. His chief investigator got fired. Then he leaked to trigger a special counsel investigation that found no evidence of the conspiracy which he had pushed, and it tore the whole country apart. Can we remind Democrats how much they hate James Comey?
Right.
He came up and held a press conference after not charging Hillary and then just slandered her. Totally broke protocol, and then a week before the election pulled out Weiner's laptop. A lot of Democrats blame him for her loss. So at this point, you have Comey now polluting 2 elections, 2016 and the midterms, possibly a third in 2020. Because if you think about it, if Barr goes back and investigates how this whole thing was predicated, whether this was politically motivated and whether the rules were broken, and they find out they were, who suffers? If Biden is the nominee, this happened on his watch, he's going to have to answer for that. How is he going to play it? Is he going to say, oh, well, I didn't really know about it? Then he just looks like a potted plant. Or if he says, you know, Comey was doing the right thing, then he looks like a collusion truther. So, and if you look at the ratings, totally lost his muscle. Tucker beat him by almost double, and his rating from this town hall was much less than it was his first CNN town hall. He's like Avenatti. They're just using him, and they're going to toss him to the curb.
So, Juan, given all of that, and yet Comey did also say in that interview that he's going to canvass for 2020 Democrats, is he just going to gut the party even more and get another election? Will it help or hurt them?
Help or hurt
or
the
hurt
Democrats?
Yeah, if
I think Jesse's right about it. I don't think Comey's a hero to Democrats, given what he did to Hillary Clinton and hid the fact that they had an ongoing investigation into Russian interference in the campaign, specifically their ties to the Trump campaign. But I think Jesse's wrong when he says, and he got fired. He didn't get fired. He was thrown out by President Trump, and people argue whether or not that was part of Trump's effort to obstruct or interfere with the Mueller investigation.
And Mueller said that there was no obstruction there.
But my feeling is this, that when you hear him respond to Bill Barr on the spying thing, you're not just hearing Jim Comey. You're hearing a lot of people, FBI, intelligence community, including Christopher Wray, the Republican current head of FBI, who says he doesn't know of any evidence of any spying by the FBI. There's just nothing like this, and you worry that, in fact, as Comey said in that interview, Bill Barr has simply become the president's lawyer as opposed to the Attorney General of the United States.
Dana, I wanted your prediction for what you think is going to happen to Comey. Like, what is going...
Prediction?
Yeah.
I don't know. I was thinking about the choice. Everybody gets a choice how they want to conduct their life and how they want to deal with their public service after they retire or forced retirement or firing. So you think about James Comey. He's not liked by either side, really. But then the Democrats are sort of like, well, maybe we could like him a little bit if he could hurt President Trump. Meantime, you've got somebody like Mueller, who was in retirement, got pulled out of retirement, did this. Nobody knows what his voice sounds like. He doesn't do any press. He doesn't want to do that. And it's a real interesting thing about a decision that you make. In some ways, Comey is a little bit like the Giuliani legal team, which was that you stay on offense, stay in front of the camera, always be hitting, always be trying to score points. Always try to get in front of the story so that you can deflect attention about yourself.
Greg, what are your thoughts on Messiah
Well, as
Comey?
you probably know, I don't like tall people. And as you can clearly see from that show, him sitting down, he is still taller than me.
Definitely.
Okay, forget Comey. Let's focus on CNN. You know what CNN is? Remember in high school, let's say a friend of yours got dumped, and that your friend immediately hooks up with someone new to parade that new hookup in front of the ex that dumped him. That's CNN with Comey, right? Because, you know, they're just using him, as you say, to get back at Trump because Trump kind of dumped him. Remember, it was CNN and MSNBC that really helped elect Trump. You know, we had plenty to choose from in the field.
Yeah.
But they focused on Trump, so Trump dumps him. So now they're like, CNN's walking around with Comey. Hey, check me out. Look who's here.
Good
Look who I
analogy,
got.
Greg.
Look who I
I gotta
got.
tip my
You
hat.
like it? You
I
like
like
it? And it fits the profit motive for CNN, which is all about conflict. All of the stories at CNN, if you think about it, in the last like 5 or 6 years, are about conflict. If you think about their police brutality narratives and the racism and the hate crimes, these are all designed to separate us. So this fits perfectly with CNN's profit motive.
Nice.
Anyway, and he's tall too, and I don't like tall people.
Can I just address something that Juan said? I hate to do this, Juan, but
no, please.
if you look at
I'm sure you
someone's...
hate to do it.
That's what I love to do.
We're not going to have time for
If you look at someone's phone calls and emails,
Yes, sir.
and if you send undercover agents to someone, and if you use overseas agents against someone, and if you unmask people and try to get into their business, I think most people think that's spying. You can call it an investigation, but real people, when they talk, they call that spying.
No, so I guess now Christopher Wray, the FBI director, he's some left-wing loon, in your opinion?
Finally, Juan, you're speaking the truth.
I just think,
characterize
no,
it.
I just think that if you have Russia interfering in our election and our prime domestic organization for criminal investigation, the FBI, failed to do anything, Jesse, you and I could join hands and say that's outrageous.
We
Why
will
aren't they
never
doing
join
their
hands, Juan.
job?
We will never do that.
Well, because
Oh, come
I know.
on. Join hands.
There you go.